Once upon a time, there were two best friends. One of them had a computer and the other one sucked.
Alright, let's do this. Hello, everybody. It's us, your boys.
Wait, I need to warm up. We have to warm up first.
You're right.
Don't do it.
I hate that, but there are just some times, right, where it's just the perfect noise to interject.
So, back in the day, right, to like warm up, I used to listen to music beforehand.
Yeah.
Right? Now I'm gonna pull up some songs.
Oh.
That I used to warm up to. Okay.
Is this staying in the episode? Are we like actually, is this part of the episode?
I don't know. I figured. I mean.
Okay.
I actually really hated that orgasm opening, so we could just fucking.
Well, no, we're staying it in because we're talking about it now. This is just all part of it. All right, what's the?
This is part of it. Yes. Okay. No, that's not the playlist. Wait. Convince them that we're fucking worth watching.
Hello.
While I do this.
It's me, your boy. I am currently wearing a sexy thong. I am in your closet, ready to strike at any moment. If you open the door too fast, you will see my dick. And that is a promise. You're taking so long.
I'm trying to find it. I have so many playlists now.
At what point in our comedy career have I ever been known as a good monologuer? Literally at no point have I ever sat down to make a video by myself and been like, this was fucking fire.
Okay. That's why. All right. Okay. That's why. So, I was going to show it to you, right?
Sure.
I was going to show you the playlist. Spotify has since changed how playlists work. But it was just the song Unicorn by Tall on repeat.
That's a good song. That's a great song.
But I had it added like 49 times, specifically so it wouldn't be a big round number.
Okay, so I actually came to this with a plan for the Chillin.
Oh, fuck. All right.
So
I was winging it over here like a fucking doofus.
I have 5 questions for your best friend.
All right, 5 questions for your best friend.
I'm going to ask you this, and then I'll try to answer it for you, or rather, regarding you.
Okay.
So the first question is, what's the funniest thing I've ever done that still cracks you up? Because I think, for me personally, the funniest thing you've ever done is behind you, collectively behind all of you. It's a guy. And it should be noted, the thing that cracks me up is not the joke of there's a collectively behind all you, there's a guy. It's the loading noise that he outwardly says.
Okay, all right. If we're gonna air that fucking dirty laundry, okay, it was because there was something else that I was going to say.
Well, I know, that's why I'm saying loading noise.
That I couldn't. We went over this in the last episode, man. It's the self-moderation. I was self-moder. That is the self-moderation noise.
Yeah, the loading noise.
Anyway.
Okay, what is the funniest thing I've ever done that still cracks you up?
Oh, man. Okay, so it comes to mind, it's kind of a split between two.
Okay.
All right. The top contender, I'm going to say the top contender, I think it would win out, was exactly that breakdown that you had where you said, no, that's not how this ends.
Oh, Higurashi, that was the
Higurashi. From Higurashi, when you say, no, that's not how this ends, I get to be normal for once. That was fucking...
Because it was... Okay, so we mentioned this in a previous episode, right? Of, like, looking back at it, those funny, haha, like, rage breakdowns were, like, manic episodes.
So the other one was also a manic episode, but it was during Cluster Truck.
Oh,
when you got on all fours and started like hunting the mosquito eater that was in her fucking apartment.
That was originally in Fire Emblem.
That was in
Path
Fire
of Radiance.
Okay,
yeah.
That killed me, and like I think about it to this day when like I really, because like it transports me back to that moment where I'm like, this motherfucker really got on all fours like a panther.
The jungle panther. So the next question that I have, if you could relive one day of our friendship, which one would it be and why?
Oh man,
mine is Jamaican night when we went drinking.
That was
Vegas.
good.
Like, and the reason why is because everything was an absolute, like, we treated everything with the same gravity of, like, winning the lottery. Like, we won $20 off a roulette thing, or no, off like a virtual slot. And the bartender
we won $80.
Yeah,
it was $80.
The diner that we drank and ate at a lot. They were like, "Oh my god, how'd you win?" And we were like, $80.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they have people in there that are winning like fucking
thousands of dollars,
8 to 15 grand. Yeah, it was, but it was a big moment because like we were broke and we really needed that money for more drinks.
Well, and so we had set aside collectively behind all of you probably about $150 in like as a budget for alcohol, right? So like the fact that we got $80 that we could spend on McDonald's and cigarettes.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh,
like that's like we were so excited, and then we got drunk enough that night in which because we started bar hopping
immediately.
After we won the $80, we started bar hopping, and we were in the Ubers that we were taking and in the bars. We was specifically talking in bad Jamaican accents, brother.
Oh man. Okay, all right. So my one day that I would relive. Okay. Man, there's a couple. So like either the night that we went bowling and got into a competition buying people drinks.
So
or
that one was a good one. That was my 21st birthday week when he had already moved out to Vegas. And we got into individually we spent anywhere from $300 to $500 on shitty bowling alley White Russians for our lane and another lane with multiple women I was hitting on. And we got in a competition of who could buy the most drinks.
And the reason that I would pick that was because that night was so financially distressing
that was,
to both of us. But
that was the definition of I'll never financially recover from this.
But I'm assuming, all right, in my heart of hearts, that this is like I go back in time and live that night again, right?
Yeah.
This isn't like we recreate that night.
No, you relive.
Relive. So,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then, yeah, I would probably choose that because, like, ultimately, we're fine. But, like, things worked out in the end. But I remember, like, at the end of the night, looking at how much money I spent and being like, damn, I'm really homeless now.
I, thankfully, had already bought round-trip tickets. And at the time, I was living with my parents. So I knew I'd be okay. Because I could walk to work.
Oh, man.
What was the other one you had?
Man, there's like a fucking couple that I could get into, and I don't want to drag it out on this question for too long, but
that's fine, because the next one we're going to come up with together.
The night of the party where you disappeared.
Oh, okay. So let me. I'm sure we told the story, but let me paint you all a picture. Tokyo and I. This was not too long. This was a couple months after we had moved to Tempe, and we were hanging out with some friends. And one of the new friends we had made was like, "Hey, we're like," it was a girl. Like me and my roommate were kind of having like because they had like just moved into their apartment. They're like, we're kind of having like a housewarming party. and we want to invite a bunch of people. Obviously, you guys are invited. And Tokyo and I were like, oh, hell yeah, this is dope. I did not eat a single fucking thing that entire day because I needed to save my money for the Uber to their house. Because we were meeting up with another buddy. So I couldn't eat anything. So we get to our buddy's house. I'll just call him the libertarian. He did not have anything to eat except for one packet of brown sugar Pop-Tarts. So I ate that, and then we pre-gamed with some Jaeger shots. So we go to this party.
I think we split the Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, we split the Pop-Tarts.
We split the pack, because I don't think I had eaten...
You had one, and I had one.
Anything either.
Yeah.
Yeah, we split a Pop-Tart.
So... We then go to this party, and we're having fun. We're having some drinks. I'm getting high as shit. I am unbelievably high. Like, I was floating between, like, 3 different bong circles. Like smoke circle rotations. And the whole, like, while also playing beer pong. While drinking the drinks in that, I was also drinking, which I would learn eventually, Natural Ice, the beer brand, would create their own version of it, but it was lemonade and beer. So anyway, I'm setting that up. Now it's your turn.
So, yeah. So, like, to give a little bit of context to everything that's going on, Miguel and I have partied a lot, right? Over the years, we've gone to a lot of different parties. We've done a lot of different things. Had a lot of different, like, absolutely fucking legendary nights. And even the more, like, tame stuff, like, one of the ones that I was going to mention, which I don't know if I should mention. I don't know. Fuck it. Whatever. We took a bunch of LSD and we ordered, like, 1 billion chicken nuggets and cheeseburgers.
That was when new Pokemon Snap came out.
Yeah.
And, oh my god, that's one of my... No, I changed my answer. It's that was my favorite day of our friendship ever. Because we were tripping so hard and just eating nuggets and playing Pokemon Snap. It was, to this day, top 3 favorite days of my life.
And I remember I was going through, like, a tumultuous time in my life in general. A lot of stuff was happening. I don't really want to get into, like, that. But I was worried that in taking all the acid that we were going to take, I was going to, like, have a terrible time, right? Because, you know, like, whatever. No, that to this day was, like, one of the most soul-calming fucking days I've ever had. But the reason I chose this night at this party where you disappeared, right? And I'll get into it. Where did you leave off?
It was just, like, getting unbelievably, like, under the influence.
So, we were all fucked at that point, right? We were all pretty fucking wasted, and we really needed to, like, go. we were all, like, gonna go. Our DD was gonna leave without us, and, like, all this shit.
Well, no, he was on his way to pick us up.
Yeah, he was on his way to pick us up. And so we were like, all right, let's get everybody, and we gotta go. And I hadn't seen Miguel for, like,
an hour.
Yeah, it had been a while, and it wasn't that big of a party. Like, there were a lot of people there, but it wasn't like a large. We were in an apartment that had, like, maybe fucking 4 rooms. Maybe.
Yeah, it was like a 2-bed.
It was a big living room, but, like, it really weren't that many places for, like, you to be. So the fact that I hadn't seen you in an hour was concerning. And I immediately went into, like, drunk, concerned mom mode. Because we would do this shit, like, because we threw so many parties and we had so many people over and, you know, whatever. We were regularly, like, hosting fucking ragers, right? Like, that's just something that happens. Is something goes wrong at your party,
then you gotta fix it.
You're the, like, responsible person, right, on site. Even if you're fucked up or, you know, wasted or whatever, you have to do it. And I went, like, right into that mode because I was like, this is my boy Miguel. Like, where is he? I haven't seen him.
Now, this never happens to me. Ever. I'm always the one who goes into, like, dad host mode when this happens. I've had to do it for Tokyo.
It's true.
on his birthday.
Miguel going missing was an oddity of epic fucking proportions. So I'm like asking around. People kept being like, "Yeah, I think he's out smoking with people." And so I went and I checked with everybody smoking. They're like, "Oh, he's over playing beer pong." I went over to beer pong. He's not fucking there. And again, I'm trashed. I am not in like a sober state to be able to focus and like just like stand still and scan the room, right? Like I'm taking these people's fucking word as law of just like go straight to the beer pong table. He's there. I was doing all of that, going around playing Where's Fucking Waldo with my best friend. And finally I just stop and I enter the most like Death Note-esque fucking like the like piano is playing in the background and I'm just like piecing together. I'm like, if I was Miguel, where would I be? Now, because we have an extensive history of partying together,
He typically knows all of my partying habits.
but also I share a lot of his partying habits, right? Because we party together all the time. We like have this weird aversion to using an actual restroom.
We love peeing outside when we're drunk. So, this is where I'll take over again. So, I went to one of the...
Hold up. Before that goes, I gotta finish the crescendo moment here, right? In which I'm coming up and I'm just like, okay, maybe he had to go to the bathroom, which means he went outside. And then, like, the detective part of me is asking myself questions. If he went outside, why hasn't he been seen for an entire hour? And, like, I put it all together. I finally, like, to the exact fucking moment, I step outside onto the balcony. There is a set of stairs that go down. I go down the stairs. I'm now outside. There's no Miguel, right? And I'm like, I could go left or I could go right because there's a light right here. And he doesn't want to stand in the light and pee. He's going to go away. He's going to wander into the darkness and pee. But would he go left or would he go right? Let's ignore the fact that there's like way more cardinal directions than that you could have gone. Okay? I'm just like, he went left or right. I'm like, all right, he went right. He like 100% because the stairs get to the bottom and they're facing right. And he would have had to turn left as opposed to walking forward into the wilderness.
And at this point, I am like 10 beers deep. I'm like 12 rotations in. I'm fucked. I am absolutely fucked. So, I had just finished a rotation and my brain went, I gotta pee! So, like, I go up to go to the bathroom. There's a fucking line. Probably because people are doing coke in there. So, now, like, I'm just realizing this. Is that there was probably a line for people to do coke in the bathroom. And I was like, I need to pee. And, of course, my default state when I'm intoxicated for where I want to pee is outside. So I go outside and I do exactly as Tokyo says. I just walk forward because I'm not going to put the effort to turn. I walk forward. I see a nice little dark patch, right? And I just, like, I drop trow. Well, really, I just unzip myself. I pull out the garden hose and I let loose. I finish peeing, and I guess I peed so aggressively that I was lightheaded. So, like, I'm like, oh, man, I'm starting to get real dizzy. I'm going to lay down for a second. So, I lay down, and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have laid down. Now I'm nauseous. And I turn my head. Bleh. And I do that, like, for in my brain, about 5-10 minutes. And to avoid getting puke on my shirt, and I'm laying in grass at this point, and I'm allergic to grass. I remove my shirt to avoid getting puke on it, so I can keep turning my head every minute or so to vomit. Now, finish the story.
So I come across shirtless Miguel passed out in the grass, right? Puddle of piss on his left, puddle of vomit on his right.
And here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
And I was freaking out a little bit, all right? Because, for one, it was super cold out that night. It was fucking freezing out there.
It was pretty chilly.
And I come across my half-naked best friend. Like, and I know you're allergic to grass and all that, so I, like, ran up. I like shook him and I was like, Miguel, like I didn't know if he was dead, right? Because in my anxiety riddled mind, you were obviously dead, right?
Now, let me counter this real quick. In my blitzed out fucking dome piece, right? I'm not hearing panic. I just hear, "Hey, buddy, how you doing?" And I'm just like, "I'm good. I'm just a little dizzy." So I sat down. It's like I've been vomiting a little bit for like the last 10 minutes, and he goes, "It's been like an hour."
So, anyway, we get him up, we get him into the car, but that's not where the fucking story ends.
Wait,
right?
hold on. Before that, I throw my shirt on, I reach this moment of lucidity. Like, I throw my shirt on, I run inside, I say goodbye to everybody. It was like, "I apologize for disappearing. I was just outside for a little while. I'll see you all next time." And I run back outside, and I basically black out.
So, we get him in the car, and we all decide that, like, because nobody fucking ate before we went to this party, we decide, like, we gotta get some food. Also, I might have been in the car screaming at everybody, "We have to get Miguel some food." Because, again, like, in my mind, the danger had not passed, right? Miguel was not dead. He was, like, very conceivably and perceivably alive. But
I know I would respond if something was asked of me, but I could not tell you what was asked of me or how I responded.
Because I had gotten to that, like, heightened fucking state of, like, fucking awareness, right? Where I was like, "Oh, my friend is in trouble. Oh, my friend is dead," right? Now we've gotten to the point where Miguel was very clearly dying. Like, he wasn't dead yet. Right? Like, that's how it was in my brain. So I was like, we gotta get him some food. So we stop at a fucking Waffle House.
I love Waffle House so much.
Like, to my protest. Because everybody in the car was just like, "Yeah, Waffle House." And my brain immediately was just like, yes, food. Good.
I think even I responded positively to Waffle House.
But then as we're on the way to the Waffle House, I was like, wait, I can't, like, buy Waffle House and take it to Miguel. Because he was passed the fuck out.
I was conscious.
I
was going in and out of
you were slipping between states of reality. Like, you were so blitzed. So, we end up going there and going to the Waffle House, and I was kind of like trying to convince other people to go somewhere else, but it wasn't really working. And again, I was fucked up myself, so like my debate skills were not great.
I would imagine it was, yeah, okay.
So we go into the Waffle House and we all sit down, leaving Miguel in the car, and I decide that like I'm going to pick up food, like hot food, with my hands, run it out to the parking lot, and hand feed my dying friend.
Now, in these times where Tokyo would come into the car, I would snap back to reality. Oh, there goes Rabbit, right? Where I would hear, "Here, you gotta eat this, dude," and I would just I would have eggs in my hand. And I would just bring it to my mouth to feed on it, much like a deer. And there was one time he came out and he's like, "I didn't know if you wanted ham or bacon, so I got you both."
Okay.
So he first comes out with like 2 pieces of bacon that I scarfed down, and then he returns after what feels like an hour. It's probably been like 20 seconds with like a half a piece of ham steak that I'm just nibbling on.
Now, it may have been more than 20 seconds because again I was fucked up and I kept like I wasn't all there. So I kept having moments where like I was out at the car giving you food, and like in my mind I'm like patting myself on the back. I'm like, "You're such a good friend." Like,
he is. I agree.
But then like the next second I would be at the table in the Waffle House, like having a full conversation with somebody, and like my brain would be like, "Your friend is still dying in the car. Bring him the ham." Like, have to be like, that's really interesting. Please shut up for a minute. Grab the ham with my bare hands and run outside to the car.
See, when they had said we're gonna get food, I assumed I was just gonna get like a to-go plate at the end, right? But no, like every like a few minutes, I would just receive sustenance.
Oh.
I mean, like mana from the heavens.
Anyway, so if I could relive a night, it would probably be that one because A, it was a pretty fucking fun party.
It was a great party.
B, it made for some really good memories, and if I could relive through it, like again, I don't have to have that anxiety of like Miguel is dying, so I could probably compose myself significantly better, and like maybe get you like a to-go box and a fork.
So the next question,
instead of bare-handing ham in the parking lot.
But okay, so here's one of like my thoughts, and like I already knew he was like my best friend, right? But it was a situation of like he was obviously in such like a primal like Unga Bunga fire bad like mindset that his first instinct was to keep bringing me out food by any means necessary, and it was one of those like, this dude is my ride or die, almost literally at this moment. So here's the next question, which is why. So, what's the most embarrassing thing we've done? We can collaborate on this one. Because for me, it would be that night.
Oh, no, man. I don't know. We've done a lot of really embarrassing things over the years.
No, you know what the most embarrassing thing? We didn't do it, but we were involved in.
What?
The fucking emotional intervention people threw for you.
Okay. That was the cringiest
That's what
shit.
I mean. It was embarrassing, not in like a, oh, ha, ha, ha. It was embarrassing in like a, can you people, like, eat a dick? Like, can you people touch some grass?
So,
we don't actually have to describe it. We can just leave it at that.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. It was the actual most... Oh, you got another question?
No, you say it.
Well, I was just going to say, the actual, like, most embarrassing thing that we've ever done...
It could also be Jamaican night.
That was up there.
That's up there.
That was up there. It had to have been something from Vegas. It had to have been. That's not true. It could have been from California.
It was likely from California.
It was likely from California. I wasn't embarrassed by it, and I'm still not, but I know I should be. Right? But it was the night that our roommate tried to go shot for shot with me.
Oh my god. Yeah.
And, we like, all right, here's another anxiety drinking night story. Here we go. I'm just going to tell this one super quick. Roommate of mine, so I was a really, really heavy drinker back
yeah,
then.
this was when Tokyo and I had first like started living together, and we were like heavyweights.
Like, we put down a handle in the night between the two of us, and in certain cases, it never ended well. Like, we didn't hold our liquor when we did this, but like solo, we could put down a handle and survive. But we were heavy drinkers, and we had this roommate who really fucking thought that
he was some like alcohol titan, but he was a wimp.
He was a wimp, and whatever. Finally, I called him out on his bullshit one night, because he was like, I can definitely drink more than you. And I was like, all right, then do it. Right now. What do you got going on tomorrow? Like, really, now, shot for shot, let's fucking go.
Part of also what spurred this on was this roommate had been, I say this with zero sense of irony, harassing us to buy Sammy Hagar shitty tequila.
That's right. There was a bet involved.
Yeah. So, because all of us had tried it, and like the roommate did not refuse to admit it, but me, Tokyo, and Seth, he's been on the channel, literally, we can name him, all of us collectively agreed it tasted like literal dirt water.
Like liquid fucking shit. Anyway, so this guy, we decided to go shot for shot, right? And we go for like an hour and a half.
We were watching Strong World.
Which is not, for the record, a long time for us to go hard drinking.
Yeah.
We would go hard drinking for 6 to 8 hours. Regularly.
Like partying.
I mean, like, more than once a week. It was some, like...
It was a frat house. It was... We were basically two steps removed from being a trap house some nights.
Like, straight up. So we would regularly party way harder than this. But we went... it had to be more than an hour and a half, because we watched Strong World, and then we played some of the Jurassic Park game.
I had gone to bed at this point, because I had rehearsal the next day, and I refused to drink that tequila. So
we stopped drinking because our roommate, the one that I was going shot for shot with, did concede. He did concede. He did it in the most annoying way possible, in which he was like, "You in for tonight because I have to get up in the morning."
He didn't.
Bullshit. Right, but he conceded that fight to me, and I was like, cool. And he went up and he went to bed. The rest of us did not. We kept drinking, and we like popped open a new bottle of Kraken. Right? So we get into it for about probably 3 more hours after that. So we're a good 3/4 of the way there. You know what I mean? Like of all the way.
Like nice and toasty.
We are cooked at that point. And all of a sudden in like my brain, right? Because the stupid fucking high school fucking anti-drinking shit really got to me. I don't know why they got to me.
Well, it's funny because you mocked it so often.
Yeah, but like they stuck in my brain.
It was your primal, like Unga Bunga fire bad brain. So the brain that makes you want to stone me when I say egg whites. So they did that thing where they were just like, yeah, you can throw up in your sleep and then you can choke on your puke and then you die, right? You know? And so I was like sitting there like playing games, having a great time, hanging out with my buds, tossing drinks back, and like my fucking anxiety mom fucking personality kicked in and was just like, your roommate's dead. And I was like, fuck. Like, not again.
Like, is he fucking dead? Is he dead? Did he throw up? Like, because none of us had heard from him, and we knew that he was going to bed. So I go upstairs, right? And I go to his room, and I knock on his door. And there's no fucking response. None. And so I knock on his door again, but, like, I kind of bang on it, you know? And I yell out his name, and I'm just like, dude, like, are you good? Like, I know that in a sober state of mind, I would have been able to piece together, this dude's fucking asleep. But after I had banged and yelled, I was like, there's no way anyone could have slept through that.
Well,
like,
and he had locked his door.
He had, yeah. So I tried the handle, and he had locked his door, which was a whole other thing. But, so I go back down to the party, and I tell I have to come up with a name for him now. I'm just going to call him Chansey, right?
All right. Yeah.
I'm just going to call him Chansey.
Well, I was going to say San Diego.
San Diego is fine. I'm going to call him Chansey, but I go down to this party of all of my friends, right? And I tell them all, I'm just like, Chansey's dead. Like, there's no, like...
There's no context.
There's no context. So they're freaking out, right? And they finally get it out of me, and I was just like, okay. I think Chansey's dead because... But we all go upstairs, and there's like fucking 4 of us packed around Chansey's door, like trying to pick the lock on the door. Super fucking wasted, super fucked up. And we do this for about 10 to 15 minutes before I just YOLO this shit and say, fuck it. No one's dying on my watch. Fucking front kick the door handle off of the door. I kicked that shit so hard it removed the handle from the door. And door goes flying the fuck open, slams into his fucking room. We all run inside, like all of us run in. He is there snoring like a semi-downshifting on the fucking freeway. I mean, just chainsaws amplified through a megaphone snoring. The fact that none of us heard him from the other side of the door was a testament
to how drunk.
to either how drunk we were or just how finely crafted that door was, and in turn, how strong I was to get the handle off of it.
Which I will say, that house was weirdly soundproof.
Anyway.
So, last question. Originally I had a fifth one, but the fifth one's actually too wholesome for this video.
Fair.
So, this one. If we switch lives for a week, what's the first thing you do as me?
Oh, I hate it. Oh.
You know what I would do if I was you?
Feel serotonin. No, for me it's you.
Yeah.
Feel serotonin.
So the first thing I would do if I was Tokyo for a week, for one, I would probably jerk off and see what it's like to have a bigger dick. Like, dead ass. Like, I know my meat's small. Like, I've said it before. With my pain huge and my meat small, I begin my westward walk to the sun. But, like, no. Like, I would marvel that I don't have a fucking, like, acorn taped to... Obviously, I don't have a micro penis, but I have an Asian dick. I put that out there previously.
You know what? I'm going to cut you off right there because we're just going to talk about your dick for a while.
No. I'm done talking about my dick. Well, no, because I'm talking about your dick.
What I would do is if I swapped into your body, right? I would test. Okay? Because I have a feeling, all right, that I'm just a little bit fucking smoother than you are. In terms of, like, trying to pick a woman up.
No, I don't. So I don't actively try much anymore.
So what I would probably do is I would probably try to get you set up with, like, a hookup. And then...
So here's
swap back, you know what I mean?
Here's the thing with that, right? It's... A lot of my appeal is my personality. I would say Tokyo is more traditionally handsome than I am. But I certainly have the, like...
Well, and that's
alternative niche because I'm covered in tattoos, colored hair, piercings, cool glasses.
That's the test, right? Is to see if, like, I was given the equipment that you had, if I would be able to, like, score, I guess. You know what I mean?
So here's another thing with that as well is it's not that I have difficulties doing it. I just don't have the time to deal with their baggage. That's I got my own shit to deal. I got my own schedule to stick to. I gotta go to the gym.
Cause, like, I don't want to say that you, like, got no riz. It's not where I'm going with it.
I was gonna say because you've seen my roster.
I've seen it.
It's unbelievable. Like, I'm the definition of batting out of your league.
But I am, like, curious, like, who's got the better riz, and what better time to test that
than when you're in my body.
Than when I'm in your body, right? So, like, can I do better than you do with your body when I have your body?
So the reason I'm gonna say no is because you don't know how to utilize my riz. Because I hate to say it, but you've seen it happen. I play the long game.
Well, yeah, but that's... I mean, that again is the...
But you would use your tactics with my equipment.
Right. I would use my tactics with your equipment to see if, like, I could do better. It's essentially, we're just, like, comparing tactics. That's it. is to, and I can't think of like a better scenario to put it up, because it's true. I've got certain things going for me in terms of just like,
you can grow like a real beard.
Yeah, I can grow like a real beard, and like I'm,
white.
White. Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but like,
I'll
yeah,
say it.
Like there's like I had certain.
Well, he has better skin than I do as well. Like, because I have. So it's specifically my mom's side of the family, and it's the genes that I got, and I'm simply outraged by it. We are prone to skin issues. So I have cystic acne.
So I think that's what I would do if we had swapped.
Get me on Accutane?
No. I would go to the doctor for once.
Damn it, you know what? You're not wrong.
But yeah, I mean, I think that would be probably what I would do, is to see if like I can use the tactics that I use as myself, just in your body, and see if it would work, if it would fly, right? Because we do definitely have like very different tactics when it comes to dating. We just
like infinitely
different. And whereas I was very much like a serial dater, right? Like, I would get into these long, drawn out relationships for like, massive periods of time, but I would get into them like super fucking quickly. Yeah. Like,
he was a serial monogamist.
Like it would just, it would happen. You, to my knowledge, only really dated like one person for kind of a long time, for like more than
like about year, 2.5 years.
Yeah. Like everyone else that you had dated were like relatively short stints.
Or I didn't date them and I just fucked.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's again, it's just. But what baffles me is the like short-lived nature of your relationships compared to how long it took to set it up, because you play the long game, right? But then the relationships you would get into, you would work towards them forever, and then you would get into them, and then like 2 months later you're just like, I don't give a fuck what she's mad about.
So I used to have this issue, right, of like, I was very much like this was not worth my time. Like, I get into a relationship with this person, and either something they would do would be a red flag to me, or something I would do would be like, I would realize, I think I'm just not that into, like, I think I was more attracted to the chase than the destination. Like, it was the journey, not the destination.
Anyway.
With that said,
we're gonna wrap it up here.
Yeah,
that's gonna be that. Thanks for.
We're gonna go have dinner now.
Coming into us talking about drinking and doing drugs.
And my penis for a small period of time.
We did.
Emphasis on small.
We did do that.
No, you haven't done that. That's the issue.